The Nintendo GameCube is one of my favorite systems, if not my favorite. And today I'm going to show you all the games that I have for it. And I've kind of tried to put these in a bit of sections, so I'm going to show you about 2 or 3 at a time based on what they are. So kind of keep the ones that are similar. So the first ones I'll start with are 2 James Bond games, Agent Under Fire and Everything or Nothing. Now, the James Bond games on the GameCube are really top-notch. They're a lot of fun, they're really good shooters, and they have a lot of interesting little things about them. So, you know, you have gadgets, and you have driving missions. There's a lot of variety. Agent Under Fire is probably not the best one, just because it gets a bit repetitive, and I don't know, it's like the first one on the GameCube, so it's not the greatest. Also, it's kind of hard. But Everything or Nothing is really good. It's got a lot of variety in the missions, it's got driving, it's got stealth, it's got action, and it's basically cast like a full Bond movie. So you have Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, Willem Dafoe as the main villain, bunch of other people, John Cleese and Judi Dench as M. So it's basically like another Pierce Brosnan movie. It's focus. There we go. It's an original story as well, so it's a pretty cool game there. Moving on to these 2, I have Crazy Taxi here. And this, I don't have the box for this, but this is the original Burnout. Now, Crazy Taxi, I mean, it's just a classic arcade game. It's a fantastic game, and this is an excellent version of it. It's really quick, it's really well made, runs perfect on the GameCube, controls really nicely. And then Burnout. Now, Burnout, this is interesting because it's not as kind of arcadey and cartoony as the later ones have gotten. It's still a pretty good game, but it's not in the same vein as the later ones have become. Next, I have this whole section of Harry Potter games. I'll try to fit them in frame here. Now, yeah, this is, you'll see the other games. I'll give you a sneak peek, but no, these are actually okay. I'm planning on doing sort of like a retrospective on them, but I don't have all of them yet, so I'm kind of waiting until I get those. But the Chamber of Secrets, which is the first game based on the second book, it's a little weird, but whatever. It's actually pretty good. It's a Zelda clone, but it's a pretty good one. I mean, if you have to play one, I would recommend this one. I mean, these 2, based on the 3rd and 4th movie, are pretty bad. This one's okay, and this one's not very good at all. It's just like a weird 3D, like, almost hack and slash kind of thing, I guess. It's not very good. And then, of course, Quidditch World Cup, which is, like, you know, it's supposed to be like you're playing Quidditch, but it's basically just a bad soccer game port, really. Yeah, I'm planning on doing a full series on those, but next are 2 kind of vintage games collections. This is Intellivision Lives and the Sonic Mega Collection. Now, as you might imagine, Sonic Mega Collection has all the hits from the Sega Genesis. So you've got Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, Mean Bean Machine, Sonic Spinball, Sonic 3D Blast, as well as a few other hidden ones, like unlockable ones, that you can unlock by doing different things. Pretty good collection. Honestly, though, if you really want to play that, I would recommend you I recently got it, and it's a pretty marked improvement on that. It's Sonic Mega Collection Plus for the PlayStation 2. It's got all that this thing has, as well as the Game Gear games. So if you want to play your Sonic games on a modern console, I would recommend the Sonic Mega Collection Plus for the PS2. And then we have Intellivision Lives, which is a collection of, I believe, 70, of over 60. I don't remember exactly how many are in here. But Intellivision games, which is very cool, because the Intellivision is getting pretty rare nowadays, so it's nice to have this collection of a bunch of them. Next, I have all of the Mario games for the system, except for Mario Party and all those games, but whatever. Super Mario Sunshine. This game gets a lot of hate for some reason. I think people are starting to come around to it, but it's a big departure from the standard Mario series, but it's a very good game. I'm very happy here to have a complete copy of this, because I don't think they're particularly rare, but I found this at a thrift store for $3, so I'm very happy to get that. Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is, again, a pretty cool game. I think people are starting to realize that it's a good game, because when it was launched, it wasn't great. It's a little short, which is probably my biggest complaint with it, but it's a good game. Mario Kart Double Dash, the Mario Kart, obviously on the system. Really fun game. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Next, I have all of the kind of Zelda adventure style games. I'll start with this one. This is Twilight Princess. If you want... Now, Twilight Princess is available on the Wii, and I think that version is a lot easier to come by, because I mean, it's not... This version isn't rare or anything, it's just a little more uncommon, whereas the Wii version is everywhere. But if you don't like motion controls, or you just prefer the GameCube controller over the Wii controller, this is what I would recommend. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a box for this, but The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, probably my favorite Zelda game of all time. I don't think you'll be able to see that because the lighting's weird, but it has the title up there. One of my favorite, well, definitely my favorite Zelda game of all time. Now we have two other games that are kind of Zelda clones. This is Star Fox Adventures, which is... yeah, Star Fox Adventures, which is a... It's a very Zelda clone style game. It's if you look at it in terms of Star Fox game, it's a horrible Star Fox game, but it's actually a decent Zelda game. That's how I like to think about it. And then Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't remember much about this game, but it's kind of a adventure-y action sort of game. So I picked it up really cheap. So I don't know. It's okay from what I remember. Haven't played it in a while. Next are my two RPGs on the system. There weren't too many RPGs on the GameCube. If you want RPGs, you should definitely get a PlayStation 2. But it did have two that I have here. Tales of Symphonia. Haven't played much of this. I've heard it's very good. Something to make note of with this game is that it comes on 2 discs. So if you're trying to buy it somewhere and it comes loose, if you only get 1 disc, you're only going to get half the game. So this is disc 1 and this is disc 2. So just keep that in mind if you're buying it secondhand. Make sure it comes with both discs. And then this is a game called Lost Kingdoms, which is a pretty good card game. Basically, you play as this girl named Princess Katia, I believe. I forget her name. And she has these cards which can summon monsters and that sort of thing. It's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's actually kind of fun. Plus, it goes for pretty cheap nowadays, so if you can find it. Finally, or, well, not finally, actually, I have Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Now, these are, if you like Pokemon, you should definitely get these, because these are these are just really good RPGs based on the Pokemon franchise. So, if you've ever wanted a Pokemon game which is kind of more story-based, and story mode, you know, you have a completely new region, It's a bit more story-based. It's a lot more battle-based. So there are no random encounters in this game. You only battle other trainers. I'm still trying to finish. I only got these recently. Well, I mean about a year ago, but I just haven't gotten around to finishing Colosseum, and I want to finish it before I do Gale of Darkness. But from what I know, Gale of Darkness is just more of the same, which is cool. Yeah, so these are pretty great games. Unfortunately, they're kind of rare, so I mean, you know, the disc alone could cost you $25, $30. I got really lucky. I picked both of these up for $2 in a DVD section at my local library. So yeah, these were just kind of bundled in with a bunch of other DVDs, and they were $1 each, so I got really lucky. Next, having to reach a little here. Oh, there we go. Next is Soul Calibur 2. Now, Soul Calibur 2 was released on a bunch of other platforms. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was released on the PlayStation, and I think the original Xbox. I'm not sure about that. But I know it was released on the PlayStation, and, of course, the GameCube. Now, I would recommend the GameCube version because, as you probably know, it came with Link as a playable character. So, if you like The Legend of Zelda, get this version. But yeah, Soul Calibur is just a great fighting game. There's a better picture of Link on the back there. But yeah, Soul Calibur is just a fantastic fighting game. A lot of fun. And this is by far the most popular one. And then this is kind of a cheap game. It doesn't even have a normal case, it's just a generic GameStop one. But this is X-Men, the official game, and honestly, this game isn't terrible, especially because I got it for, I think I got it like buy one, get one free, so it's not that bad, but it's not great. Basically, it's like a 3D fighting game. It's actually kind of cool because you get to fight with, I think, 4 different characters. So you have Wolverine, obviously, and then Iceman, and then like a few other characters, and they all play differently. So it's not terrible, but I don't know if I'd exactly recommend it. And then finally, I have the 2 shooters that I have on the system. I guess apart from the James Bond series, but whatever. First, I'm going to talk about this loose disc, and this is... Oops, come on. This is Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime is a fantastic game. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is about this disc. For some reason, it doesn't work on my GameCube, but it works on the Wii, so... Maybe it's just too scratched for some reason to work on the GameCube, but the Wii plays it okay. So, but yeah, Metroid Prime is a fantastic game. I definitely recommend it. And then Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Haven't played a lot of this game. From what I've played, it's pretty good. It's a shooter, but you've got different things, so you can, you have a jetpack, and you can't say that, but you have flames and stuff like that. So, it looks to be pretty fun. Again, I haven't played a lot, but... So yeah, that's my Nintendo GameCube collection. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my other videos.